I think Coach McRoberts ran us out of time, so I'll make it very short. I'm just kidding. Congratulations to them on the big win, and certainly to Coach Luke on his 2-0 start. Excited about that. We had another very good weekend playing in the Memphis tournament, winning the Memphis Invitational Tournament with a win on Friday night against Tulsa. Good team out of the AAC. We won 4-0, really got on them early and scored some good goals in that game in the first half. So we're up 4-0 at halftime. We were able to rest a bunch of guys knowing that we had the big game on Sunday night. Memphis beat Rice on that night 3-1. So it set up a really good match for last night. And it was a great match, a great Memphis Ole Miss soccer match. It's the derby. It's the team that's closest to us. It's a big rivalry, our biggest rivalry out of conference, certainly. And they're always very good in soccer. They're ranked nationally. So great game for us. Channing Foster, one of our freshmen, scored just an absolute laser from about 35 yards out with about a minute to go in the first half to get us going in the halftime with a 1-0 lead. And then our defense took over. We really played tough defense all night long. And there's a group of players that haven't been tested a lot in the last few games. We've been scoring a ton, but the defense has really not had a lot to do. And last night they were tested by a very good Memphis team that scored a ton of goals this year. And keep them off the board was huge. Marnie Merritt was excellent in goal. The Grace and Ella Johnson were excellent. Center back, Liza Harbin and Sophie Deneen and Chanel Thomas, guys in the backs were great. So really happy with the total team defending. Bella Fiorenzo's our holding mid, did a fantastic job in there against one of a national team player for Canada that plays for Memphis. So really happy with the group and, keep moving along here. We're 7-0-1, so we have one more non-conference game left in Stetson this Sunday, and then it's all conference. But we start off with Florida, scheduled right now for Thursday on the SEC network down in Gainesville. But again, like volleyball, we're waiting to see how the hurricane has affected them and if there's going to be any changes to the schedule. But for right now, we are preparing for Florida for Thursday night down in Gainesville. Any questions? Yeah, it's a great question, Jake. I don't know if I saw them gelling this soon. They've really gelled together, and Cece and I think Channing now is leading the conference in scoring with 9, and Cece's right behind her with 8. Those guys are really dangerous, and we're playing Mary Kate Smith up front, Allie Houghton up front, and Molly Martin and Gabby Little are all getting minutes up there, kind of with Cece, and they're all producing. So we're a tough team coming off the bench. We bring in a ton of speed when we sub, and that's been hard for teams. And this is the deepest team I've ever had, and certainly one of the best back lines we've ever had. So when you couple that with Marnie, it makes it easier for the attackers for sure. But the goal last night was straight off a counterattack. And we won a ball, got it to Cece, who played it to Channing. Channing hit a great strike. So, but this team has ability, and they feel really good about scoring right now. They want to score. They just go at it. So it's nice to see. Anything else? Yeah. Just Cece 2 years ago when Kaiser was a freshman. Very similar, playing the same position, but she's had some just really big time goals. So, I compared her early in the year she's left-footed. I compared her to Rafa, our Brazilian All-American that we had years ago. She has that kind of ability to score. She really understands how to score. She's a special one for sure, and dangerous, and just the bigger the game, the better she's been for sure. She's been really good in all of our big games. Yeah.
Do you think the offensive production we've seen so far is going to carry the day when you win the conference game?
I don't think we're going to score any 8 goals against anybody, no, but I think we're going to continue to attack for sure. I think, this team definitely has abilities. We've shown we can score on, we scored on Michigan, we scored on Memphis. Those 2 teams are both nationally ranked teams. So I think we can score. I don't think to the level that we've been scoring, but I think there's goals out there that we're going to get for sure. Yeah, good question. Anything else?
Coach, you're looking to
Yeah.
You're hosting Florida State as they look to get away from Tallahassee from the storm. And it's the second time this season you've welcomed another team in that's trying to avoid hurricanes. So what's that like hosting Florida State? What went into that? And what does that mean about the soccer community?
Yeah, so Friday, we were on our way to the Memphis tournament, and Coach Mark Kikorian from Florida State called me and said, hey, we have to evacuate. One of the places they mentioned was Oxford, and would you guys be willing to host us? So, of course, you know, he's a very good friend of mine. They're a great program, and we have a lot of respect for them. So I said, of course, yeah, come on up, and whatever you need. You know, we're actually out, away all weekend, which is convenient for them to be able to use the field to train, and then anything you need as long as you're here. And the first thing I'll say, he was really impressed with our Gillum Center, the new Gillum Center. They've used the facility, they've used the training room, video room, the weight room, all that kind of stuff, and we're just really fortunate to be able to host them really with no problem. So, and the other thing they've mentioned to us is the hospitality of the people in the town have just been great. So, we were certainly happy to do that for them. And, you know, it's a tough situation. They're in the ACC, and their league's not stopping, so they had to come somewhere where they could train and play, or they're worried about they weren't going to have power and that kind of stuff, and be able to get out in the field. Their school's closed, I think, the whole week, so they're not sure how long they're here for, but we certainly have been very, very welcoming and happy they're here. And like I said, he's a great coach and great friend of mine, and they do a great job, so it's been certainly nice to host him. Okay, good. Thanks, guys.